Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Milsim Units Podcast. With us tonight, we have several gentlemen from the Ronin Group for podcast number 5, and this includes kullzy,
G'day, morning.
Ethan,
Good afternoon.
and Aloe.
Hello.
All right, so it's great to have you guys here. This is a little bit different this time around. You know, our first 4 podcasts, we talked about Milsim Units. We talked about several of the prominent Milsim Units playing Arma Reforger. But what's different today is that Ronin Group is more of a studio. They're not a Milsim unit per se, but they are a team that provides a lot of great resources, community, and information for other Milsim unit leaders and gamers around the world. And you three, again, we got global presence, among you. So really happy to have you here. Now, let's go. Yeah, I mean, it's outstanding. This is a really great opportunity. Again, something a little bit different that we've done. But, I want to get to know you three guys a little bit better and your background in the community. So to start out, let's talk about Ronin Studios. What inspired you to start the group? And, tell me a little bit about your formation and the history over the years.
Yeah, so the organization originally started as RCL, Reforger Competitive League, which was a PvP organization. Units could sign up and go against each other's, or our staff will go out and schedule matches with these units that are either having issues or, just for fun sometimes. Started out as RCL. The original owner, his name is Milky, and then the other sponsor, his name was Skippy on PC. And then it transferred over throughout the time of doing RCL over to TGL. We wanted to do a new type of name, just rebranding of the organization. So then we end up getting started more into going to Star Citizen, going to different games more or less. We went to Squad at one point, Rust, just to branch out to see what we could do in different areas. And then we ended up transferring over to Ronin Studios, to have more of a hub for Milsim units, doing more of a modding, teaching other groups, and teaching individuals how to do mods, how to do maps, and etc. But it's been a long history with RCL to now Ronin Studios.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. It sounds like you guys have had your foot in the water here for a good long time. I'm sure you've gotten to know a lot of people, throughout your operations. I mean, and going outside of the Armorverse into Star Citizen and Squad and Rust, definitely you've got, it sounds like a pretty broad reach here. Now, I just want to ask off the top, were you guys, more into facilitating TVT or PVE? What kind of matches were you hosting or are you hosting?
So we more or less just did TVT, so PvP matches.
There was like 1v1s, 2v2s, all the way up to like 10v10s we had for a while. And we had like a little mod for it to where people could walk into a building and the spectators could look down in and see the players, but the players couldn't see above so they wouldn't be distracted while they fought. I think what's his name has those on his YouTube channel.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Task Force Gaming, yes.
Yeah, definitely. I'll have to check out more of his videos here to see what you guys are all about up close and personal. Now, with that being said, so you're not a unit, kind of planning operations or missions or campaigns, but tell me a little bit more about exactly what you do to facilitate other units and their gameplay. Basically, how do you guys, kind of make the greater community more successful, more fun, more memorable?
Well, we originally wanted to push it out to, try and really push out the content and push out more people actually making content for Armory Forger. And now the tools are sort of here and a bit more accessible to the greater community as a whole, I think a lot more people are more sort of inclined to like get into the tools now. Like the resources are out there and it's readily available, and people are not gatekeeping work and actually willing to help out other communities. And I think where we sort of found a niche was like we were connected already, and we seen an opportunity to get ourselves into a good foundation, put the forefront out that we want to offer quality content for units and milsim groups. We also want to push out like our own content, be able to host servers on a really convenient dashboard, and just make sort of be able to offer sort of the wide broad range of what you can do, what we could push for it. And seeing how a lot of people sort of reached out for us to do different content and learn different things, and it really getting these newer guys that have just started out with Infusion upskilled a bit more, so they're confident in doing their own projects. And people like Paradise, and we've got a couple of other smaller servers that are just coming up now that are just needing a little bit of assistance and like getting things organized, and like stepping in, helping them out, showing them the way. And it's really beneficial sort of in the long run now, because I see in these relationships form, and it's going to bolster the community as a whole. And I think now it's going to, we're really starting to branch out more to custom content and bringing more people in. We brought a few like 3D artists and animators, and we're sourcing outsourcing scripters now. So we're trying to really bolster our manpower to start really pushing out as much as we can and helping those along the way.
That sounds pretty impressive. Imagine it's got to be intense keeping up with the demand.
Late hours, long hours.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
Staying up 2 days to make sure sure that we have one thing correct, or making sure
it's
that
good that we're all branched over. Like we've got a few guys based in America, we've got a few guys based in UK. We're most like the Herb servers, myself and Scott and Aussie are based in Australia, and a few sort of scattered in between. So there's always sort of someone around, someone working on something and up and about. So it's good. We've got a good like wide range, and everyone's passionate. Everyone wants to really get in and learn new things and learn new skills and help others, and that's what we wanted. We wanted to sort of have that standard. Like everyone, my first question I ask anyone that sort of comes into the team's like, not what you can bring to us, it's what you're passionate in. And I think that's really driven a lot of people more to go like, oh, what do I actually want to learn? And if it benefits the community, it benefits the community. But if you can put your skills and what you're sort of keen on, you're going to be putting a lot more love and quality into what you're doing. And
Absolutely.
and everyone's enjoyable.
Yep. Yeah, that's great. So I take it you guys, you don't work with just experienced kind of established units. You'll work with new units who are just kind of
Yes.
pulling themselves up out of the dirt.
Yeah, so one of the units that we are partnered with is Red Crimea. They're not just starting, but they're kind of building their numbers, and we just partnered with them, so we're helping them out, and they're helping us out with a lot of things so far. Where they're just switching over to our server provider. So our in-house servers, they just switched over to.
That's
and
pretty
helping out
badass.
their dev team now that they've sort of assembled their own dev team here. We've sort of come together and gone like, right, we can really like push this out and really get your guys' name out, because most of the community is looking through the content list and the workshop list and seeing the groups that are making this content, rather than looking at the server list and who's got the most servers.
Sure.
So this is where these smaller names will get more noticed.
Absolutely. So let me ask you about the community and the culture in Ronin Studios here. So obviously, like you've mentioned, you've got global reach, working with units and commanders and players of all backgrounds, all shapes and sizes. How would you describe the culture, within Ronin as you're working with all these diverse groups of people?
It's very, very, like, I was very surprised first stepping in, because I've only been in with the sort of the modding community for Arma as a whole for like probably just less than 12 months now. But sorry, excuse me.
Yep.
I was surprised to come in that at first a lot of information was sort of slightly like held back, because a lot of people's work was getting sort of yoinked and stolen. But I seen more of that, a lot more, because like the Armor Discord was really pushing people to like share your knowledge, share what you've learned, and it's sort of created a great foundation for other groups to build off and do the same. And I think that was the main sort of push, it not holding any of our content back, and not like making everything open source, and be able for everyone to build off as well and use it if need be. And it's received a welcome reception, because like everyone I think was sick of that sort of stigma of just like, no, if I've learned it, no one else is going to know because we've only got it. But they don't realize that that's what pushes the modding community forward, sharing these ideas. Like two heads are better than one, as they say.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're absolutely right there. That's what makes the experience here. I come from a Arma 3 background. I played Arma way back in the day, but I really cut my teeth on Arma 3, and it's a great game in itself. Now it obviously looks a little dated, but from my point of view, what made Arma 3 what it is, what it made, it in terms of Milsim gaming and that experience, it was the community. The game is good, but it was the modders, the unit commanders, the server operators. All of them. All these groups, all these individuals put together made the experience what it is. It wasn't just this weapon or that mission or this terrain set, this map. It was the people, and it can make or break not only a unit but the community in itself. We don't want to see the Armorverse or any other area of Milsim gaming become prohibitively toxic or just boring.
No, that's right, because it breeds.
Absolutely,
the more people
it's got
that
spirit.
Are pushing that. Yeah, exactly right. The more people that are pushing that passion and are really enjoying what they're doing, and not ruining the experience for everybody else in a different, like, we're on a development side now in an actual creating space. And yeah, it's nearly a professionalism sort of thing, but it's all a passion project. No one gets paid for it, and that's where it's like you're taking the time as the currency, and really weighing it up with obviously everything else you're sort of doing, and yeah, you've got to have that passion for it, or it just breeds through.
Yeah,
like everyone I think is on that same wavelength. We've got the vibe for the tribe, man. Everyone's on the same wave.
That's good. Yeah, I like the word passion. You said it all right there. So you've got a lot of dev work, a lot of talented individuals and groups helping you to act as a force multiplier to bring out the most of people's gaming. What does it look like online? If you're running the server, if you're hosting a unit, where do you guys fit in that gameplay experience? You guys on the server, in a body, or what does that look like?
We always playing.
I wondered, but I had to ask. So
yeah, so we have one of our ROT servers. So we have 3 ROT servers currently. So which is our DayZ mod that we have. And we always have admins in there interacting with the individuals that want to play there. And we also, for myself, right, I go on WCS server to just talk to people, obviously with permission to boast our organization. It's very perceived very well, and then you also get those groups of people that are not keen on the idea of sharing the knowledge and information with other people.
Sure. But either way, you guys, you got the tools already set, but you maintain the presence and offer the support and the camaraderie throughout the experience.
Sure.
Yes.
So we got to have fun too.
Absolutely. I was going to say you can't script and mod and not.
You'd be surprised. Like, it's crazy. There's like with just the ROT stuff. There's stuff that people have done and found that I didn't even realize, because they're playing more hours than I have, and just because I'm in
they're finding things for us that even I miss, like a floating tree or a rock next to a road that I'm like, how did I miss that?
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Now, I'm impressed. Anytime I meet people who have established and are maintaining a community that really fosters fun, great experience, a lot of support, etc. It gets my attention. But as as we all know, the Milsim community is developing. Games are in the works. We got new games coming out. Some that we've got some sneak peeks at. We've got the Arma release date for 2027. Reforger's on fire, but we know it's just a matter of time before things start to shift. Yep. So, with that in mind, I mean, you guys have done a tremendous amount of good, a lot of work, maintain a great presence globally in the community. But where do you see Ronin Studios a year from now? With Milsim Gaming as it's developing, where do you think that your studio is going to be in terms of that development, a year down the road or even further?
I feel that the way it's looking, because we're so early, like especially with Arma 4 just by itself, that we're have a really good advantage sort of when that finally comes out, being if it's going to be 2027, that's sort of nearly 2 years of active time with the engine and the tools and everything that we've got. It, with all happenstance, should be able to be, just yeeted into that. So, and that in itself, being that early presence, is what gets groups big, fast. But at the same time, like I would really like everyone's really sort of wanting to, like everyone in the core team wants to push to that, that studio sort of level, and really like if we can actually develop ourselves into a proper contract taking group and make it an actual professional business in a sense, but at the same time one that's built from the community and actually from people from the community. I think we're in 2-3 years time we could be a million steps ahead than where we are now in the sort of development space, and with the skills that we sort of learn along the way, it'll put us in a good option. I would love to see guys from our team, like similar to Cup, get sort of integrated into the Bohemia group, as active modders for them, and like RHS and all that sort of did, and others were like, it's also obviously what you're passionate to, whatever these guys want to do in 2-3 years down the time, they might not want to stick around, we might get new guys in, so it'll be just having the core as a goal to sort of what we want to shoot for. And as long as sort of everyone's with that and keen on that, I see us going miles. I see us climbing mountains. We got a really good team here.
Outstanding. And I mean, with Bohemia, with their relationships with devs and modders, I mean, you've got me thinking, hey, could they produce a DLC? Who's going to do the first DLC for Arma 4? And here you go, here you guys are.
Possibilities are endless.
Yeah, that's outstanding. I love it. Now, let me ask you three. Obviously, Milsim is its unique kind of area within gaming. It's not for everybody, that's for sure. We got a lot of intense folks, a lot of really talented and capable people. But just from your three perspectives here, what interested you in Milsim to begin with, and what keeps you coming back? What gives you the drive to keep working in this unique area of gaming?
So for me, I'm very well connected with the Milsim community in different aspects, either it being a political matter or getting Milsim communities to talk to each other, etc. Right. For me, I have a private security and private sector background. I used to work for Bloomberg and a company called URG, United Resources Group.
Yep.
So I love the military aspect. Obviously, I didn't join the military, but I have experience in some capacity of it. I've been in multiple Milsims starting. I originally started Milsim doing in Battlefield 3 and Bad Company 2. And then from there, progressed it up to Arma 3 and then Arma Reforger. It's very jarring in a lot of aspects. The hours you must put in and having the conversations with people, but it's very fascinating when you look at these well thought out ops and trainings. Getting that exposure to stuff that a normal civilian won't get experience.
Yep, absolutely. I appreciate that, Ethan. What about the rest of you guys? What keeps you in Milsim?
Well, I was in the army myself, like for about 8 years. I've been to Iraq twice. I was infantry. And I just kind of think it's kind of nostalgia for me, just like the camaraderie and the fun with it, where without having to actually like deal with the real army's BS.
Sure. Sure, yeah, yeah, big army. Watch out. Careful what you wish for. It's one thing to
Yeah.
do it part time online, but yeah, when you sign on that dotted line there, man,
Yeah.
it's a whole
Like
nother
most
thing.
of the time most of the time there's just so much sitting around doing nothing followed by like 10 seconds or 20 minutes of holy heck and then followed by weeks and weeks of nothing again. It's
Sure.
not like the movies, but at the same time I really liked all the when I played Arma 3, it was really cool like wow, this is actually kind of how it works here. And I was like, wow, I always thought like wow, this would be a really good tool to train new guys. It says in their disclaimer you're not supposed to use that. I think they have their own like VBS or something, Virtual Battle Studio or something.
Right. Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
BIS
guess
there.
the government has to use something like that. But I was really surprised, like, oh, hey, there's really a lot I could do here, when it comes to modding or at least being a guide on helping bridge the gap of what's possible between yeah, we might do this like this in the military, but we're playing a game. It may not be as reasonable or feasible to do it a certain way in Arma. Or I could say, hey, it might be better to do it this way because this is how we do it in real life to give people that experience.
Sure. Yeah, that's good, Allo. Definitely, and it brings legitimacy to the experience. Particularly not only for vets, but for other guys. I know a lot of guys who get into Milsim because they're thinking about enlisting and they want to get a little kind of intellectual sneak peek, if you will, before they actually put their boots on and get running. So that's pretty cool. Now, what about you, Skullzy? What got you into Milsim?
Well, well, I'm actually a bit of the outlier. I've actually never been in a Milsim myself.
Ah, no kidding.
So what actually got me into Arma was the mods, and like I've been playing Arma 2. Like that's when I sort of started playing Arma, and I love the servers, what they did with it, and I've been modding games since bloody like Elder Scrolls Oblivion days, sort of, So it was like I've always had that passion. Every game I play, I'll try and mod it, and that's what like the amount of variety and the amount of possibility you could do with the tools that they gave out, similar to the creation engine, is what really got me into not only like playing it and then wanting to actually do it myself. So, and the space, like the community servers back on Arma 3 were crazy, and I think some of like the old like early life servers and Epoch servers and like Breaking Point mod and bloody the Player Unknowns version of like the first Battlegrounds iterations. Like so some of these projects have completely just evolved into their own games and their own spaces now and their own environments. So it's really like to see that happen over just a couple years time. I was like, wow, it'd be cool to actually get into this and do it myself. And yeah, that's what sort of kept me around.
That's cool. Yeah, bring your kind of technical and digital experience there to just build up the what you've seen others kind of working on.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. And I really like too just the amount of diversity. Like I love Star Wars, and like seeing all the Star Wars mods come in, I was like, oh my god, yeah, I'm just living my childhood fantasies again. It was and yeah, stuff like that really drawed me into the space of content creation and modding. And I love the community too. Like really, that 99% of the community is excellent. Everyone's really good to talk to. Normally, everyone does. There's a small little minority here and there, but you always get them as long as you can sort of handle things respectfully and respect everyone's sort of stuff. It's all good. You push on.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, and I will say one thing that really impressed me from the get-go with Arma 3 was that the mod specifically, but it was the fact that if you could imagine it, chances are you could probably script it and turn it into a mod. So it's just
it's imagination.
Yeah, it's just wild. What a unique opportunity that we have, and it keeps going. With new games coming out, and Reforger and Armor 4, like we were talking about. Who knows where we're going to be? We've got the vision. We've got kind of our hopes and dreams here, but seeing it all come into play over the next couple of years as we get the next generation, so to speak, up and running.
It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, it'll be a ride for sure. Now, let me ask you about Ronin Studios. We talked about the community and your camaraderie, but what kind of unique aspects or elements do you have in the studios? I mean, do you have anything that's any traditions, any kind of unique community, kind of experiences in the studios?
So we have this inside joke, me and Skullzy, and one of our senior admins, Al Ozzy. That You've ever heard of Sassy the Sasquatch?
Oh
That
yeah.
type of YouTube.
Yep.
So my nickname with them is Quentin,
Uh,
the child.
Yeah,
that's
So
good.
every time I join a Discord call with Skullzy or even Ozzy himself, they'll call me "What's up, Quentin?" or "Shut up, Quentin."
it's what happens when it's what happens when you stick two Aussies in a room with the Yank, mate.
That's too much. That's funny.
Uh,
All right. So, in the past podcasts that we've done here at Milsim Units, I traditionally ask units, or at least the unit commanders, what military movie or miniseries or TV show do you think best captures the spirit of your unit? Now, with Ronin Studios being, I don't want to call you guys a conglomerate, but as this big, organization developed, devoted to development, modding, hosting, bringing out the best in these up and coming and these experienced Milsim units here. What movie or show do you think captures the spirit of Ronin? I mean, could you put it in a single movie? If you got different opinions, I'd love to hear them all.
that TV series.
Definitely like a comedy one, like maybe Stripes or Delta Farce.
Yes, 100%. I'll say
100%.
Stripes. I personally would say Stripes. I have to, because the amount of funny stuff that happens, or the amount of stuff that, let's say, if we explain, you would be like, wait, that really happened? Like, it's like it gets pretty wild over here.
I got to say, in Stripes, Sergeant Hulka was always my favorite. Which one of you guys here is Hulka?
Ooh, I'll say Aloe. I'll say Aloe.
Really? Yeah.
I agree with that.
I think if you harden your voice, you got a little mean sound, you could probably pull it off. I bet. That's good. I gotta watch. I haven't seen that
I'm
movie
a lot
in years.
older than I'm 35, so like a lot of younger players sometimes I might have a shorter attention span for some days.
Sure.
So I usually let Ethan do all the community talking.
I can sympathize with that. That's pretty funny. Now, we've gone over a lot of great information here. Definitely, I wanna put all out your Discord server. I'm going to put that link in the description. Get your social media up there so people can find you. But with that being said, what's one thing that you want people to know about Ronin Studios that we haven't discussed yet, or they might not realize coming in?
I think. Oh yeah, you go, Ethan.
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay. No, I think mainly just sort of knowing that we're here now, we're reaching out to pretty much all the major communities, but any smaller community that needs any servers or help with like learning and fusion, getting their mods out there, and at the same time too, any developers that are looking to, or modders that are willing to look to join a team, that'd be definitely something we'd like to get out there for sure. And with just our content, like for the Rot DayZ and for like Red Crimea servers that are going up for public, especially if PlayStation starts jumping over, like there's going to be a big player base coming here too. And if they get mods, that'll be a crazy new experience. And I think a couple guys are working on like a third party tool for PlayStation to actually try and get mods on there a little bit earlier. So that'll be interesting to see. So yeah, there's that's mainly that what I'd like to get out there for sure for the group.
Definitely. Now, how can leaders, modders, how can developers get in contact with you? How could they get involved? What's your point of contact?
Best place would be the Discord. We're going to set up a website for the studio for that content and to promote other units as well, similar to how you guys have got it set up. And at the same time, best place to be reaching out to us would be our Discord. We're always here. We're always doing something. Got some live stream going with some dev content, so always happy to drop in. Everyone's welcome.
Excellent. And definitely keep in touch with us here at Milsim Units. As your media presence expands and develops,
brother.
let us know. We'll get some links up. We'll keep this podcast, up to date as best as we can, so that we got all the right and relevant information to people who need it most.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, gentlemen, I really appreciate it. This is a great discussion today. It's always good, kind of changing gears, getting to know different people in the community that personally I've had very limited experience with. It's one thing being in a unit and kind of doing cooperative matches or campaigns, but you guys are a step above. You're like the next level up. Kind of that macro level, really coordinating a lot of moving pieces and parts of a giant digital puzzle here to bring out the best.
Appreciate it, brother. We try.
That's cool. I like what I've seen. I've been impressed the whole time. So I'm definitely looking forward to hearing more and seeing what you guys are doing.
Thanks
and
for
what
getting
you
us
can
out
do.
here, bro. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, most definitely. No,
really enjoyed this.
Always a pleasure. All right, gentlemen. Before we wrap up here for the day, let me ask you about your projects. What do you guys have in the works? What are your plans here for what you got going in this moment?
So the main project we got kicking off currently is our Armory Forger Daisy. It's called Rot. So we're doing basically a classic Armor 2 feel Daisy, getting back to our roots, bringing in the best sort of functions and really trying to knock for a classic experience. We're currently working on a new base building system built off the current conflict one. It's sort of in its very early working stages at the moment, but that along with just mainly the back end functions for our Daisy stuff. So it really just starting to polish it up, and we're also doing it on a custom map. So we're doing Isles of Arboros is pretty well, I'd say nearly 70% there. We've just got a lot of the landscape work to do, add a lot more of the new locations in. But the work that's gone on there currently is crazy. We've got like heaps of underground bunkers, massive cityscape, really old apocalyptic vibes on an old volcanic island. And and trying to, alongside with that, all the functions and stuff we're building and putting into that, we're also lining up for a couple potential new projects for those to roll into. We're sort of still in early talks and ideas about a couple things, potentially a battle royale mode, maybe an extract. So we're sort of still in the talking stages of that. And with the Milsim content, basically, we're really trying to focus into what like bigger groups want. So Star Sim is starting to sort of come up big. It's like all the Star Wars genre and stuff like that. So we're really trying to get in a bit more polished and quality content out in that side. And for the realism too, Ethan could speak on the realism mods that we'll be bringing in.
Yeah, so currently, at the moment, we're currently working with a couple of Milsim units and try to get their ideas of what they would like to see regarding either real locations for maps or real factions, or get that realism aspect to the Milsim scene. You could do the fictional stuff, but a lot of the Milsim core units will love to see real life place, real life operations, etc.
Sure. Yeah, that sounds pretty cool. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing more of that. Definitely, for me, the immersion is important, but realism should be key, and it's kind of the top of the pyramid from my experience, anyway. So,
And we
definitely.
have a couple of maps on top of that. Aloe, he could explain more on those.
Yeah, with the maps, well, there's the Arboros that we've been working on and still continuing to update. And right now, we just started, me and Ethan, how many kilometers would you say it is? 25 by 25?
Yeah, so it's 25 by 25.
Yeah, we're testing that out right now. We're starting with the bare bones, roads, vegetation, buildings, and we're gonna upload that, see how it works, because it is a large size and we're not sure how well it's gonna actually work, just because of infusion and all. There's some limitations there, but hopefully with the update that's around the corner that I'm hearing through the rumor mill, maybe some of that stuff will be addressed. I don't know.
We pray.
Yeah, definitely. When it comes to Reforger, I'm kind of a newbie, I'll admit it, but definitely the one thing that it's lacking is bigger and better terrains. We definitely need more variety and like you said, realism. Yeah, underground bunkers, man. You hooked me with that. Anytime somebody's talking about making
on
underground.
Armuros, we've got there's caves I'm sure players haven't even discovered yet.
That's pretty wild.
There's a subway metro system
built underneath the airway.
I love it. Well, that's great, gentlemen.
Yeah, when I'm playing, I'll just park in one of the decrepit skyscrapers with a sniper rifle and wait for teams to walk by. But I don't really shoot solo players. I'll only go after the teams because that way, they have a shot.
That's funny. Good stuff.
AI keeps them busy.
I was hoping to see a Milsim group come into our server and play as a group. Maybe that would be their scenario.
AI bandits. We just brought in AI bandits, and we've got stash crates in there now. So it's really it's starting to feel.
And the stash crates persist through resets now.
No kidding. Well, there you go, unit commanders. You got your invitation, man. Let's see what we can't do to help them. Test and make the most of this project here. But great stuff, gentlemen. Again, you guys are really doing a lot of good work. I can tell you're committed to the community and just bringing out the best of everybody's kind of relationships and the experiences they have together. So keep up the good work.
For the invite, Paul.
Absolutely. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is podcast number 5 with MilsimUnits.com. Really great time today again, talking with kullzy, Ithan, and Aloe. So, we'll see what comes. But until next time, this is C. Brock signing off.